Recently, Jordan Peterson made a video directed at the CEO of Twitter. Now, I'm not going to go through this video or critique it. In fact, I'd probably agree with the video. That is, if I even watched the whole thing, which I did not. Now, this video by Peterson is the second video he's made and directed at Twitter for his suspension on that platform. I watched about 2 minutes of the video. It was well written, it's done in good faith, his argument is airtight. But my problem with it is this, and in fact you could transfer my problem with this video to all political commentary at large. What good is speaking truth to power when power put its fingers in its ears a long time ago? This video might as well be of Peterson out in a field trying to fight the wind, flailing his arms around, punching, kicking. They would be great kicks, they would be great punches if, and this is the biggest if there is, if somebody was there to be punched and kicked. Imagine the hubris of thinking that you're basically one well-produced video away from getting your Twitter account back. Imagine being so delusional to think that your suspension was a mistake, that your account slipped through the cracks of reason, and that if you simply appeal to our overlords, they'll let you back on. I suspect Jordan knows all of this, but continues to make videos towards Twitter to virtue signal for his fans. The people who control the levers in our society, the leadership, that is to say the elite, have completely closed their doors to reason and good faith. They did not suspend Jordan in good faith, and it is delusional of him to think that they will restore it in good faith. People have tricked themselves, especially those on the mainstream right, into thinking that speaking truth to power, or correcting a lie told by a politician, is the ultimate death blow to the system. When in fact, the system is more than happy to have people like Ben Shapiro destroy them with facts and logic, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It doesn't affect them. Ben Shapiro will go back to his studio, and his opponent will go back to whatever institute they work for and decide the public policy that we all have to live under. They'll keep doing exactly what they want to do with no consequences because a rant on YouTube is not a consequence that matters to them. It would be like if Jordan Peterson told Justin Trudeau that he was so unhappy with the way things were going in Canada that he was going to tell Trudeau's mom. Yeah, that's right. He's going to get Justin's mommy involved. It's getting serious now. Of course, that doesn't matter to Justin. That won't sway him from doing what he wants to do. It's one of the foundational lies that Western democracy was built on. That if enough people rise up and make their voices heard, that things will change. We keep acting as if we just tell the truth and expose the lies, and then our society will be fixed. Oh my God, Gavin Newsom was seen at the French Laundry not wearing a mask? Man, can you believe the hypocrisy? Oh yeah, so what? In a sane world, he would step down out of shame and disgust for his own behavior. But we don't live in a sane world. And so he just says, no, I'm not going to do that. And then nothing else happens to him, and then that's the end of it. Oh my God, Stacey Abrams was in a classroom with a bunch of kids, and she wasn't wearing a mask, but she made all those poor little kids put on masks. Oh yeah? So what? She's going to say no too. Nothing will ever happen to her. So why wouldn't she? Jordan Peterson wrote his script, coordinated with a production team to meet at a set and film this video. It was professionally filmed and edited, and eventually released onto YouTube. And what happens now? They just give the account back to him? What if they don't? I'm guessing Peterson's answer would be that we have now exposed them as corrupt or authoritarian. Well, so what? Speaking truth to power sounds wonderful, and it all tracks right up until the point where the people in power just say no. The sweeping bans we see on Twitter are immune from public outrage. The ban happens, and there's nothing you can do about it. The strikes content creators get on YouTube are notorious for being insanely stupid, and yet there is no way to talk to a human being about it. And even if you can get an actual human being to review your content, if they say no, then there is no recourse for you. That's it. That's the end. Maybe the argument is that making these type of videos will sway the public into electing new, more competent, and less corrupt leadership, or forcing Twitter to change its leadership. But the problem is that this concept of what if they just say no can extend all the way to the election. And it did. What if the system refuses to take seriously the worry that people have that the election was stolen? What if at every level the system just says no? We're not going to entertain this idea. We're not going to launch investigations or have the courts look at it. We're going to collectively rally around Biden and say no to the people. The mafia has investigated the mafia and found the mafia to be not guilty. But what do you do then? You make another video? You whine some more online? You expose the truth of what really happened? You make your dumb little film 2,000 Mules? Who cares? It's meaningless. At this point, it always has a 0% efficacy rate. So why do we continue to do it and hold on to it so tightly and think it'll work this time? Well, then what should we be doing? That part is the tricky part. That's the part that the system is actually worried about. You know how they say that if voting worked, they wouldn't let you do it? Well, then what we aren't allowed to do is now our recipe for how to beat them. We can tell how close or far we are away from the solutions by measuring the level of apoplectic response that the system has to any given idea. Why is our government so obsessed with January 6th? Why do they keep demonizing Republican voters as dangerous as the terrorists on 9/11? Why does the DOJ consider uppity parents a domestic threat? They're setting the stage for exercising justified violence against people like us when we finally grow the balls to do what is necessary. What do you do in an argument when there's nothing left to talk about? If a police officer gives me the command to get on the ground, but I refuse to listen and comply, what is left for the officer to do but use force against me? Why is white supremacy the biggest threat to America, according to the people who currently run America? Have you seen a graph of what it would look like if only white people voted? It's 100% red. We are their biggest political enemy, and so it must be demonized and made extreme and unacceptable. We must have open borders to change the very makeup of this country. Why are they forcing good men and women out of the police forces and military? Because they don't want good men and women who will resist the command to fire on good people like you and me. Unfortunately, the elite can see the logical endpoint of where this is all headed long before people like Jordan Peterson can even allow their internal Overton window to entertain the idea. In Peterson's mind, and in the minds of so many others, including everyone in the comments section, his video is the end point. We stand up to the bully and we tell him what's what, and everybody claps. The end. And to be clear, I agree with the video. I agree with the cop yelling out commands. We're the cop in this scenario, and the government is our suspect, who should be subject to us under the rules we pretend still exist and work. But what do you do when the bully just says no and is going to try to beat you up anyways? That's the question I want to put into your brain today. What if they just say no? Think about it to its logical conclusions and see if you agree with me or not. Or how about this one as a follow-up question to that one? What if we just say no? No more paying taxes, no more putting up with corruption, no more listening and cooperating with an illegitimate government that is actively trying to destroy us. What if we just say no and call their bluff? Just food for thought. Anyways, that's all the time I have for today. If you enjoyed this video and type of content I'm making, consider giving this video a like or maybe subscribing. I will see you all in the next video. Peace.